don't know, the way the lead ad, you might hurry it up. I have a couple people doing remote, and I'm turning it all up.
Yeah, like with because mine is entirely going to be like for a film, and then I have to do the calls. It's 50 cents per minute, right?
It's 25.
25 cents per minute?
That's just the rack rate. Volume.
Also, it's finished, so it sets it up.
Yeah, should be fine.
Also, I got nothing to do, so I'll do this until we get started. He started it like a week or two ago, so I can understand why we take it off.
We are live streaming, just so you know, so no swearing. We're live streaming now, just so people know, no swearing.
God, you don't know
We'll
the
curse
restraint I just.
as much as we can.
Yeah, and no playing music either. So the other times I get
I
basically,
just thought, dang.
you know, as soon as it picks up, it's only like, you know, like a few seconds. You go, oh,
You
copyright
don't want any
violation.
copyright strikes?
And I
Come
play my own
on.
music that I
Oh.
wrote myself.
I have so
It's
many
impossible.
violations. I get violations for political content, for mentioning the T word and the N word, well, the N-I-K-K-I word, in you're receiving their political text. I get a violation. It's crazy. But anyway, I'm just going to do some logistics, and then we'll kick over to Brian, who's got the real content. All right, so welcome. Thank you so much. We've got, I feel, about half the hackers here, and then we've got another half who are hacking remotely. We've got people in Tanzania, Sri Lanka, and people here in the US who are hacking remotely as well, because travel, or all the stuff and having a family, and all the weekend chores you need to get up to. But anyway, toilets. So you go out the door, you can turn left or turn right, and you just go round, and you'll see where the toilets are. It's quite easy. Just keep walking, as long as it's in the big circle, and you'll find it. All right. Apart from that, when you've seen where the coffee is, we've got fruit to keep you going. I've got some orders for Jersey Mike's sandwiches for lunch. You've seen we've already got some crisps, chips, and do we have any vegans? Two? Three? You're making my life hard now. I've got two vegan meals upstairs in the freezer, okay? I can order, now, with Jersey Mike's you can get a bowl, so there's no bread, it's just vegetarian, so I'll order a couple of those as well with the bowl, okay? So that'll hopefully mean we're okay in terms of numbers. And then, any vegetarians? Okay, well I've got two vegetarian meals, sandwiches ordered, one gluten-free and one with whole wheat. And then the rest have meat in, all right? So that's just to cover lunch, and then at least I know roughly the numbers. So we'll order pizza for dinner time, and again, I've got soda, and you can see where all the cups and sauces are. Okay, so let's get down to details here. So you're in the right place. We've got cash prizes, and if you are looking at this, this is the article that explains how to submit remotely. Okay, you can recognize pictures, and then we have two sponsors. We have the SignalWire team here. To see their resources, just click here, and they've done some really great work in making it as easy as possible to get in and play. And so is Thomas from Strollard. Thomas was in Australia earlier this week. He was at a IETF standards meeting, which saps you of the will to live and all possible energy. He's just got back home, and he's still snoozing on his Slack I pinged him. Whenever Thomas becomes available, we'll get him connected. All right? And then Cloud Communications Alliance is here simply because they've been promoting TADHack across all their members. All right? So that's that piece. We then have the schedule. So, you know, we're here. Yeah, check in. There you go. We're starting on time. Yay! You know, that's a first. And then we're just going to plow through until, well, it says 6 p.m., but, you know, as I said already, we're flexible. So if people are really, you know, trying to break back on the project, we'll just go, you know, I mean, we will physically kick you out by around 8 p.m. because Jerry will want to go home. Okay, he loves his cats. He likes to spend time with his cats and his wife, of course. But and then Sunday, you know, we'll plow on through. We've got again sandwiches for lunch. I'll make sure we have more vegan meals, and then we'll run through the pitches. And then after all the pitches, which will include both people here and remote, we'll then do the judging and we'll announce the prize, the winners here. Okay, and then. This is good for your resumes. At 1 p.m. at Enterprise Connect over at the Gaylord Palms, we'll have a chance to present the winners. And you know, I'll be flex. You know, I'm not, because we have a lot of remote. We may have some remote that are winners. I prefer have physical people there at the event. So as a result, it doesn't matter whether you're a winner or not. If you are available to present, I'll get you there, all right, in that session. And this looks good on your resume, okay, because this is an internationally recognized conference. I know people who've got jobs through having this in their resume, okay, just to mention. Right, so that's it in terms of the logistics. Again, it's just all the other companies that are helping us make this possible. And that's it. Hack on SignalWire, hack on Strolid. And the great thing is we've got, oh, and the most important thing, sorry, it's a good job you walked in, guys, is we have to thank for all the facilities, the amazing internet. I know it's the wrong logo, but Valencia College. You know, that's where we used to, you know, hang out. But
Well, this is nicer than the Gaylord Palms.
But again, you can see it's great facilities, great internet. We've got lots of space to hang out and hack with. So again, you know, Jerry, you know, Ian, the whole team. I know it takes a lot of effort to deal with all the organizational issues, but again, thank you so much for making this possible.
Yeah, welcome everyone.
Yeah, thank you all for coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah, great turnout.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. So that's good. So what I'd like to do now is to hand over to Brian. If you can come on down and do the connection. And again, I'm here. I'm just hanging out over here at the bar. So if you have any questions, just ask me. All right? Perfect. And I have to admit, in terms of swag, the little dingly dangly robot, I have to admit that is one of the best pieces of swag I've seen in a long time.
And that QR code on it actually works. All right, guys, I'm from SignalWire. My name's Brian West. I've been deeply involved in AI for about a little over a year now, helping Anthony build out this product that we have today. Here is the SignalWire promo code you can use when you sign up. If you click billing in the upper right, go down to your profile, then billing. You'll input that under redeem code. It will unlock your account and give you $50 credit. We also have a meetup on Thursday, March 28th. If you want to scan this QR code real quick, that'll give you the details. I put the address if you just want to snap a picture. I'll give everybody enough time to do this. So who here in the audience has worked with telecom? Anybody, any telecom people? Awesome. This is going to be new to a lot of people, so don't hesitate to ask questions, because I've been doing this for 20 plus years in telecom, and it's a lot of fun. You know, it goes so far back, I was that kid in high school that forwarded the phone call so the principal couldn't call my parents. So that was, you know, my start in this endeavor. Now, I think everybody's received the emails that Alan has been sending out. We've released our resources for this hackathon early to get everybody familiar with it. If you want to scan that code, that'll take you to those. So, who in here has worked with AI? A lot of people. Have you built any products on AI yet? Awesome, awesome. So not a lot of products. So what I'm going to do is tell you a little story here. Everybody knows little Bobby tables, right? So XKC 327, if you're not familiar. If you go to bobbystable.ai, this is actually the live website, and it's cropping it weirdly. See if I can fix that. There, we'll do it where it needs to go. Awesome. So, when I sat down, I was thinking, like, what is a real-world use case that would be helpful? And restaurant reservations, that's a real good one. So what I did is I created this example using the SignalWire AI agent. This is Bobby's table. This is real. It actually has a Google page. I'll tell you a little about that in a little bit as well. You can call it up. That number's live if you want to call it up, and you can make a reservation. It'll show up live on this website. I do scramble phone numbers, so it doesn't leak your phone number, so I do take your privacy into account. But basically, this uses the SignalWire AI gateway, which is our swag functions, to check if a time is available. Book the time. It can even take a reservation, look it up, or move it. Like if you hang up and call back, it'll look up your reservation by your phone number, let you move it or cancel it. It also at the end will text you. It'll ask if you want to receive a text message with a link, which lets you go to the website update or to cancel your reservation from your phone as well, with just clicking the link. It also informs you messaging and data rates will apply. You know, you got to do all of those things. So this is a great demonstration of like doing all of the compliance components to ensure that you're not like spamming people that don't want to receive text messages. This is also one of the examples. If you've gone to the TADHack page, let me find it here. This page right here. This is the resources. We've created a container called Wirestarter that brings all of the resources that you would need to run any one of the demos on this page, including Bobby's table. If you want to run your own, modify it. It is the components that instrument the back-end components for Bobby's table is written in Perl. It's pretty clear Perl, so you should not have an issue having like ChatGPT or Copilot translate that for you into another language. So if you're not familiar with Perl, it's very similar to PHP. You can ask it to take, I've asked GPT to change it into Node. It usually gets it about 95% there because I do write pretty verbose, clear Perl for that reason. So you could follow my Perl code with very little effort. So if you want to get started with Wirestarter, and this is on the web page, these images are published. It is on Docker. It's a Docker image. What you will need to do is have your SignalWire space ID, your SignalWire project ID, project token, and an ngrok token. And if you want to add any, like if, for example, you have ngrok arc, so you say you want to have it in region US or you have a custom domain, you can put those in there. So what will happen is once you do the Wirestarter and you run it and you enter the container, it's going to prompt you for all of these details. It's going to set up the environment, and it's going to drop you into a prompt that we call Swish, which is a SignalWire interactive shell. It's very much like if you've ever, anybody here ever use FreeSwitch? No FreeSwitch users. It's very similar. It's just a command line prompt that lets you buy numbers, route numbers, work with the SignalWire APIs all from your bash prompt. You can exit that and type setup.sh. And what that will do is it'll let you pick out what you want to do, and then you input your data, my number that I have ready, and it'll continue to set it all up. Since I have my tunnel already up, it aired out, but it'll give you everything you need to run the demo, and it's kind of cropped a little weirdly. Let me pull it over, and that'll let you run the demo there in that container, and it maps the ngrok tunnel back to you. Everything is handled for you, and if you run into any problems with that, just flag me down. I'm here to help everybody. So, over here. So, we'll go back to a little bit of Bobby's table. So, does anybody have any questions so far about what we discussed? Okay, so I tend to take things to the extreme when I build these demos. I have actually built a Google restaurant page for Bobby's table. It's in Pompano Beach, Florida. That address is not real. I just plopped it in a parking lot there on the beach, and Google just approved it. Now, yeah, they
Wow.
just approved it, which makes me call into question Google reviews and things. It's like I need to double check them. So the fun part about this is I've gotten the performance statistics on this, and I've done 0 advertising on this. 0. And so far, since January to March, 317 people. This is the funny one. I've actually had 2 instances where a real person has called, made a reservation, realized it wasn't a real restaurant, called, canceled the reservation using the AI, and then probably called back wanting to speak to the manager. It is definitely one of those things that I knew it would possibly happen, but I didn't put any resources into advertising it. Now, it gets even funnier if you want to test some things out. This little make a reservation button right here, you know how Google says they have an AI that'll call? Well, when you click that button and fill it out, a real human will call Bobby's Table and make a reservation for you from Google. And if you cancel it, they will call back and cancel the reservation too. So, and it's a human. They say it's AI driven, but I've got the recordings. It's a human. They're really good at faking it. I've done very similar. I would show you my, I created another one named Ethan. This is Ethan. He is my personal assistant that I've created using our AI agent. The picture's AI as well. He gets job offers like crazy on LinkedIn. It's kind of comical. But this is another example, and this is one of our examples we have in our documentation where it shows you how I built this. Now, Ethan has the ability, he can receive faxes and text messages. He's recently gained the ability to put actual calendar events on my calendar using Google's calendar API. So he can check my calendar and insert an event. I have examples of that. We can go over those as well if you have questions. That particular example is a little more complex because you got to go get an OAuth client and everything from Google to get set up for that. It's pretty easy to do if you have your own domain. But I made all of this up, and I would demo Ethan, but he said you couldn't cuss, so we can't demo Ethan because he's got a potty mouth. So and that's kind of funny how we this is some of the infrastructure we built around the language model. Let me find it here. So if you go into our dashboard, you have the capability of building an AI agent yourself from our UI with point and click. There's 2 types of AI agents you can build. The real power comes when you bypass this for now. We're still in the process. There's a V3 UI coming out that integrates a lot more of the complexities of this to make it easier. Because as head of developer experience at SignalWire, my ultimate goal is to make this technology usable for developers and non-developers alike. So who in here learns from reading documentation? Who here learns from examples? So see, I have to hit both ends of that spectrum and everything in between it. And that's a little difficult sometimes because I don't normally think from the documentation, but I do have team members that do. So I utilize my team to look at things from different angles, and I depend on you, the users, to give me feedback. I don't care how critical you are of what we have up here. If you have a better idea of how we could present it, I'm open ears. I don't know how everybody thinks or approaches things, so just give me feedback. And any questions so far? Awesome. Let's see if there's anything else here I've got. Also, this is an example you can run in Wirestarter. This is Flo's Flowers. This is a demo we did for Valentine's Day. This is the second version. I did this after Valentine's Day. The first one just sent static images, which is one of our serverless examples. If you go to the documentation page, there's Flo's Flowers. The logos on all of this stuff that I've done, all generated by AI. I didn't do any of these logos or the names. I described with the services I was going to do. The only name I come up with is Bobby's Table, because I wanted to pay respects to XKCD. But Flo's Flowers, now this example, you can call her, and she's one of our digital employees. She'll answer the phone, ask you who the recipient is and what kind of flowers you want. Now you can ask for flowers that don't even exist, like keyboard flowers, hard drive flowers, database flowers, virus flowers, whatever you want.
Yes, my desired.
Yeah, virus flowers. We found that out by accident one day, say she misheard. But what it'll do, it'll use the Dolly OpenAI to generate those flowers and send them via MMS to your recipient with a message you include. So that's another one of our great examples. Like I said, all of these examples are outlined on our page. For example, we have this thermal thrillers. Who here had their air conditioner go out this past summer? Mine did. Mine went out. I had to call my regular HVAC people. I had the worst experience with a live human answering service, and that's where this came from. They didn't ask all the right questions, they didn't get the data, so I didn't get the assistance I needed, so I burnt up for that night, which was agonizing. So what I did is I built this out, and this is capable of doing after-hour answering 24/7. If you miss a call, it's able to collect the data, the make and model, are you a customer, what kind of, any past issues you've had, and it'll summarize it all into a JSON object and give it back to your CRM if you want. So it allows you to do all of those fun things. This one here is another example. This is a room service ordering robot. This actually came from my experience this past December. I went on a cruise for my husband's birthday, and we tried to order room service. 14 calls in, 14 calls. And all I wanted was a BLT and a pizza. And it would take 4 seconds. This can answer the phone, take the order, put it in the database, and you don't have to have a single person answering that line to take those orders. So it allowed the back end to be a lot more optimized. Because normally, like small hotels that have room service, it's usually the person answering the phone that's doing the deliveries. This would help increase revenue and customer satisfaction because they're not having to call multiple times or wait on hold for 20 minutes to get through. So those are areas where AI will really shine, and it's going to get in more of those types of situations as the task gets more complex. It'll flood into other areas. Any questions? Awesome. So yes.
Yeah, so in all the applications that you just stated, the only involvement of AI is a language model?
No, you have, the language model, but we've instrumented all of the scaffolding around it. So the SignalWire AI agent is, as far as I can tell, one of the only turnkey agents out there that brings the voice, brings the ASR, brings it all together. And we've integrated on bare metal. It's written in C, so it is as fast as possible. So we've got, our endpointing and turnaround is very natural. I've seen demos, I don't know if you've seen demos where when somebody stops talking, the AI instantly goes. Humans don't communicate like that. There's delay. But if we were talking in a conversation, it'd be like us talking, and there would be no pause between our exchanges. And again, no human does that. They'll think and then respond. And so, the one thing I can tell everybody in here, if you approach AI with like a programmer's mindset, you're gonna have a hard time. Because the AI acts more human than you realize sometimes. And you can tell it how to do it, but not what to do. You give it a good instruction that's clear, concise. Be careful of wording. There's certain words. For example, we had a customer did one that said never transfer the call until you verify the customer. Okay? It verified the customer, but that word never, it would never transfer the phone call because it was told never. So it took that literally. So we changed it, you can transfer the caller after you verify their account, and it did it every time like it's supposed to. So prompt engineering is a large part of how you get these systems to do what you want. And approach it as, and what I do is I humanize the AI. Like we have Sia, she answers our phone calls at SignalWire, opens and does tickets for every phone call with summaries and all the data that it needs. And our team follows up with each and every one of those. I find if you approach it like it's a person, you treat it like that and you have a better interaction. You think more in the human mindset than a programmer's mindset, but it is the mesh of both worlds. And an example of the taking advantage of the AI and programming, for example, I have swag functions in Bobby's table. I had the arguments defined kind of loosely, like date. And I'm expecting it to be in PG date format. So recently they did an update and it started passing, instead of the date like I wanted, it would be March 2nd, spelled out. So what I did is just change the arguments to the requirements for the function. date in PG date format. AI knows exactly what that is. Same way with the calendar, when I say ISO 8660 date format, it knows those things. So you can lean on the AI to be smart enough to do a lot of those things for you. In addition, there's things you don't want to give to AI. For example, you don't want to give it your whole company directory because it's going to leak all those phone numbers out. So we have some systems and functionality in place with what we've built that's called metadata. It's held away from the language model. And for example, when I do a transfer table, I say targets, like Brian and Anthony and so on and so forth. So the AI only knows that it's transferring to Brian, but when it calls the function, that function translates it to the actual phone number and sends the call where it needs to go. Same thing could be said for like names, things like that. For example, we have the ZenBot, which is a tier 1 cable modem tech support agent. It's just a demonstration with mock functions. We do the verification. We set the customer record in the metadata. All we tell the AI and the language model is the customer's verified. Proceed to assist them. And then every function call after that references that metadata from the AI session that's still alive every time it calls a function. So we don't have to hit the database multiple times either. So we have a lot of things in here that will help you speed up latencies and keep data away from the language model that you don't want it to have. Because too much could make it make the wrong decisions.
I mean, GPT-3 or GPT-4 is built on 1 billion parameters. So how you sort of ensuring low latency in a space like telecom? Especially, I mean, like one of the applications that you just showed us was the Flowers AI, which is a multimodal AI agent, right? You're just giving it text and it's giving you back an image. And that pretty much, I mean, right now it's matured to a level where the latency is not a lot. But if you're making a very specific application in future, SignalWire itself has to do something. How are you going to ensure low latency?
Okay,
You'll have to build
so
something on your own, right?
You bring up something that I didn't cover about Flowers. When I did the second version of it, where she would use Dolly to generate the flowers, that swag function that she calls to do that would take 10 seconds to run. So you have 10 seconds of silence. So we created a feature, a wait file that you can play, like keyboard typing. It sounds like rustling and packing up flowers in a box while she's generating the image. So you're not sitting there going, are they there? So those are the types of things. We also have fillers. For example, every time that it goes to call a function, you can specify the fillers, like, okay, 1 minute, let me see, things like that let you give the caller feedback.
We call those percolations.
Yes.
You drip into the conversation to make it seem
Yeah. We don't do it unless we're calling functions. We're looking at other ways. It seems weird to me just like to interject them all the time because I get it. People do that in real life,
Right.
but we're looking at other we're pretty agile with what we do. Like it took 3 days to get that wait file feature in production after we did it, and the demo goes really well then. Because before it'd be 10 seconds silence, but now you hear rustling paper, like she's putting it in a box, and then she'll send you a text message with the flowers attached.
That's awesome.
And it's also on the website. I scramble the numbers there. I try not to leak anybody's phone numbers. Any other questions? Do we want to get to hacking now?
Yeah.
Has everybody signed up for SignalWire account yet? Awesome. And if you need the discount code again to activate your account, there it is. Again, that's in the upper right-hand corner of your space. Go to billing, redeem code, put that in there. That'll unlock your account full customer level 1 with a $50 credit.
Cool. Thank you so much, Brian.
Thank you.
One thing I forgot to mention is Wi-Fi. We have SSID over there, IPC, so and then a long passcode. So you can use that one. Yeah, exactly. Take a photo of it so you can enter it in. So that's pretty open and it's quite fast. It's like 400 megabits by direction. Okay, so that's it. Get to hacking. Any questions, just ask. You can see we've got a lot of the SignalWire team here, so you've got a lot of mentorship and take advantage of that, okay? And don't forget to ask them about job opportunities and other opportunities with SignalWire and FreeSwitch. Because what you need to know with these guys is that underneath most of the people that we've had sponsoring TADHack over the years, they're built on FreeSwitch. So that man is behind a lot of the innovation that's happened in programmable communications over the last 20 years. So again, thank you so much, guys, and good luck, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow when we get to see the fruits of all your labors. So take care.
Good.
Thank you.
Good.
I know, right?